Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video for you here today from the Filipina P titled Why a Woman Cannot Be Satisfied in 2025. So let's jump into it. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
Hi folks, the Filipina P here. And we all know about modern women being the ones to initiate so many divorces. But why is it happening? Women seem to have every advantage lately, and yet they still don't seem very happy. So what is it this time? So to find out what's going on, let's listen to a divorce attorney that claims to know the answer.
70% of divorces are initiated by women, and as a divorce lawyer, I can tell you that women are not divorcing men because they're bored or ungrateful. They're divorcing because they're tired of doing everything. But why? What is making these women walk away in such high numbers? Well, the answer is simple. Women are expected to work like they have no children and parent like they have no job. They're expected to be the emotional support system, the household manager, the one who remembers birthdays, doctor's appointments, and what shoe size the children wear. Women are not leaving because they hate marriage. They're leaving because they're exhausted. They're tired of being expected to handle everything while their husband thinks he's helping when he loads the dishwasher once a week. Most women do not leave for another man. They leave for themselves.
Okay, this just blows my mind because as a Filipina, we don't mind doing the household chores, even by hand.
Okay, so first of all, this woman right here sounds to me like she herself is divorced. Okay, this woman just has absolutely a horrible attitude. But let me ask you this, okay? If women are leaving because they're exhausted and they're doing everything in the relationships, okay? They have to fulfill all of the roles. Why is it that lesbian marriages have the highest divorce rates out of any permeation of gender? Okay? And men, right? Gay men have the lowest divorce rate out of any permeation of gender. Riddle me that. Okay, so if you have women who are married to other women, why are they most likely? Why do they have the highest rates of divorce? You know, if women are doing everything, if they're expected to fulfill all the roles and that's what they're doing, why is it that women seem to actually perform the worst among both genders, no matter which way you slice the cake? Hilarious how that works, isn't it, guys? But yes, you know, all of these wives, they're leaving, guys, because men won't load the dishwasher. Okay.
As well as taking care of our family and holding down a job if necessary. And somehow we manage to do it with a smile on our faces. Handling the household duties is our love language. And after having grown up in a place with no clothes washer, I can safely say that you modern women have absolutely no clue how easy you have it. And let's not pretend it's some huge energy expenditure to remember a birthday or a shoe size. If you want to have a real problem on your hands, try taking that duty away from a Filipino mother. So let's hear from another woman who really seems to resent her lot in life.
Just by the way, before we continue, this woman makes a great point. I'm so sick of all these women claiming that they're the emotional support system, you know, doing the emotional labor, because they remember miscellaneous things like birthdays. Like, I'm sorry, but that takes no effort, okay? If you remember a birthday, great for you. You know, I know dudes, right, who have been friends for like over a decade and they don't remember each other's birthdays. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you remember a birthday? Who the hell cares? Okay, some people just need to actually get over themselves. Oh, I do all the heavy lifting in the relationship and the marriages, guys. You know why? Because I remember the birthdays. Stupid. Absolutely stupid.
My husband and I had 4 kids. We both worked full-time. We had been together for 16 years at this point. We've been together since high school. And on paper, I have an amazing husband. He is incredibly supportive. He's kind. He's loyal. He's a great dad. He's very hands-on. He's an active participant. He's always present. What else could I ask for? But I was incredibly frustrated. Women tend to carry a disproportionate amount of the work in the home, the work of raising kids, and the mental load. I remember looking at my husband and saying, I need more. I need you to do more. Every night when we cook dinner, you ask me what to make. Every day when you drop off the kids at daycare, you ask me what they need in their backpacks. And he looked at me and he said, okay, just tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I said, okay, you know, something that would make my life easier is if in the mornings when I came downstairs with the 4 kids, the dishwasher was emptied, the dishes were put away, and the trash was taken out.
Why don't you do that crap? Why don't you sort the dishwasher? Guys, like, I'm so sick of hearing this crap, like, oh, my husband. How about this? How about you two switch roles, okay? You go out there and work. you drop the kids off to school, you know, you do all of the things that the man is doing, and then the man can load the dishwasher and look after the kids. You know, I'm hoping I'm interpreting this correctly. So the man's going out there working, he's doing all the driving, I assume he's doing the other masculine duties, you're looking after the kids. And like, I love how we always talk about the misproportionate stuff that women have to do looking after the kids, but we never talk about the misproportionate things that men do, actually putting a roof over their heads. You know, I never once see the women turn around and go, you know what, I'll be the one to do all the driving, I'll be the one to do all the working, I'll be the one to pay all the bills. They never offer to switch. They just insist that the man do more of their job.
And he said, yeah, of course. What? Yeah, I'll do that. That's no problem. And so, of course, he does it. But then I have to remind him, and then he forgets, and then I have to remind him again. And there was this one morning where I woke up. I went to put something in the trash, and it was overflowing. And I went to get my son's water bottle, and it was in the dishwasher with all the other clean dishes. And I felt so disrespected and unseen and unvalued at that point in time. And I remember texting my husband being like, what happened? Like, why didn't you do this? And he said, sorry, I was running late for work.
Am I in the twilight zone right now? So let me get this straight. You have this near perfect storybook husband who offers to help you any way he can, including cooking dinner. But since he's not a mind reader and asks you what you want to eat, it pisses you off. And when you didn't have the time to empty the trash or take the water bottle out of the machine, it's time to think about ending the relationship. Now, I certainly don't have a problem with needing a husband to help out when you got 4 kids, but to consider divorcing him because he didn't have the time to empty the trash? Seriously? Sounds to me like you have a great guy, and if you don't want him, I can think of about 20 million Filipinas that would.
And just by the way, I think the man here, if I'm not mistaken, is going out there and working, but she's not, or if she is, she's doing less work because the man is, you know, dropping the kids off to school and stuff like this. So if the kids are at school all day, why doesn't she do the dishwasher? Why isn't she doing the bins? Right? Like, I don't understand this crap, guys, of women just insisting that men do more of their particular job. Like, oh, I have to do a disproportionate amount of the housework. Yeah, because that's your job. You know, imagine if men were like, hey, you know what? I pay a disproportionate amount of the bills. I do a disproportionate amount of hours at work. But we never talk about those things, do we, guys? Crazy.
So I got to thinking, is this really the way most women feel? That what they really want is housekeeping services? And what do they think men want in return? Well, there's only one way to find out. So let's go talk to random people.
Why do you think wives divorce their husbands?
From what I've seen a lot, mainly because the husband's not doing the work anymore. He's not putting the effort. They just leave all the housework for the wife.
Some women are divorcing their husbands because they're not doing enough house chores.
Yeah, and if he's not interested in just staying and not putting any effort, I just think maybe it's time for you to see separate ways. Maybe it's better, it's healthier. Maybe there's less fights because often these types of arguments can cause fights. Not having doing the house chores or not changing the baby's diaper or something. And I think that's just most of the reason why people are saying, hey, let's just get a divorce at this point. I don't see any continuation of this.
Okay, so if the husband does the changing the diapers, cleaning the house, cooking, do you think that would make him less masculine?
For me, no. I think that makes him more masculine because you're able to just do the work. That is dirty work. I mean, do you understand how hard it is to take care of a child?
So is it also okay for the wives to do the lawn or fix the car, or
Yeah.
do the plumbing, that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
So
If the husband sometimes, sometimes men are not really that good at that stuff.
Okay.
Sometimes let the wife do it, but the husband does all the laundry and all the cleaning.
do you know how to fix a car?
Somewhat, yes. And also you have
I guarantee, guys, this is nonsense. Okay, so let's pause it here. I want to unpack a few stupid things that this woman has said. Number one, every single time a woman says, hey, you need to do more in the relationship, and this is going to fix our relationship, it never works. You can be a fantastic husband, you can pay all the bills, you can do all the right things, you can even take on her roles of the dishwasher and the cleaning or whatever. She's still going to leave anyway. The truth is, guys, it doesn't matter what you do for these women. They're going to leave you anyway. This is the experience of a lot of guys. You can put in more and more effort. But, you know, whenever women are demanding more, especially to keep the relationship or marriage afloat, it's never going to last. Second of all, I want to bring up the lesbian marriages again. These have the highest divorce statistic, so I'm not sure how all of this stacks up. Third of all, I don't believe that this woman knows how to fix a car. I don't think she knows how to change the oil of a car. I don't think she knows how to change tires. I'm very, very skeptical of all of this stuff. You know, and it's just funny to me, right? How men, apparently the reason why marriages are not being held together is because men don't do enough housework. I think that's absolute nonsense. I really do, guys. I think that women are leaving because they know they can get rewarded for doing it, right? There's no penalty, and oftentimes they can leave with cash and prizes. That's a big one. They can leave simply because they feel like it. A lot of these women who are married these days have no ability to pair bond to their husbands. They've been with too many dudes, and so they'll never be happy no matter what you do. I mean, the list goes on and on, guys. I think this is just absolute bullcrap. I really do.
YouTube, you can just search something.
What should a woman do to keep her husband happy?
Make sure there's that equal standing, there's that communication that says, hey, I want this to happen,
Okay.
but I need your help as well.
Yeah, apparently that's what men do. Sorry, that's what women do to keep the marriage together, guys, is they make their demands very clear. So in order to make the man happy, we have to make our demands of the man crystal clear. Are you guys hearing the same thing? Are we all hearing the same thing? In order to keep a man around and happy, we have to make sure our demands are very clear. That is crazy.
Okay, so communication.
Yeah.
What about physical intimacy? Do you think it's important?
I mean, depends on the two people, but I think it can be.
Wow, she feels the same way. If a guy's not doing the dishes, you might want to think about ending the marriage and kicking him to the curb. Now, she didn't look like an auto mechanic to me, but I'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
Hey guys, can we start kicking women to the curb in marriages if they don't pay their fair share of the bills? If they don't do their fair share of hours in the workplace? You know, I'm just very curious because, again, we talk a lot about men doing the traditionally feminine roles. But again, you know, I think, guys, if your woman is not pulling her weight financially, if she's not working enough hours at work, if she doesn't fix the car enough, if she doesn't mow the lawn enough, which, by the way, guys, in my life, I can count the amount of times I've seen a woman mow a lawn on a single hand, I swear to you. Okay, so, you know, how about we start to discuss all of these things?
Let's get real though. How many wives are actually willing to get under the hood of a car and change a spark plug?
None of them.
Are you married?
I'm married, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you.
So, why do you think men divorce their wives?
Most of the time, I think they're looking for a younger partner.
Why younger though?
It makes them feel younger, I think. It's just, you know, with a guy, I think like after a certain amount of time, it just gets too familiar with the same woman and they just feel like they need something different.
A variety.
A variety, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And usually they're gonna look for like a younger woman who's like making them feel younger too.
But why divorce their wives? Just do it secretly.
Well, some guys do that. Some guys do that, you know, but, you know, eventually I think it's going to just come out, you know. It's like a guy with a car, you know, after like 10 years or 5 years, it's like, I'd rather get something new, like a sporty, flashy car, you know what I mean?
That is a crazy thing to say. Guys, me personally, make sure you leave your comments below. I don't believe this crap whatsoever. There are some men like this, sure, maybe some very small amount of players who pull this crap. But I think a lot of guys, you know, they're with a woman for a long time, she makes him happy. They're not going to just up and leave because they want to trade her for a younger model. I think this is a significantly rarer mindset for a man to have, for example. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like, I don't see dudes doing this. I also don't think it's reflected in the statistics. I think a lot of times when men divorce their wives, it's because they're actually forced to, right? Whether it be because the wife is cheating on them, the wife is abusing them, you know, yelling at them, stealing from them, you know, all of that kind of crap. Like the instances where I have seen a man get divorced, usually it's just straight up because the woman's cheating on him in front of his face and just treating him like absolute garbage. I'm talking yelling, you know, oftentimes things that I can't talk about here on YouTube, that kind of stuff. And I think that's bared out in the statistics as well, guys. Like, men are just significantly less likely to divorce women or initiate divorces, especially compared to women.
New car smell phenomenon. Okay.
Right.
Why do you think most women divorce their husbands?
You know, women love romance and they love to be romanced, and you know, sex in there as well. But I think they are just looking for a lot of attention, a lot of romance, and just, you know, they love it when they first meet a man, and it's really great, and they're doing, you know,
Again, it's this exciting at first.
Exciting at first, and then, you know, it kind of like fizzles out after a while. So I think they just want to renew that again and just kind of get back to that exciting kind of period again.
Then what should a man do to keep a woman happy?
You know, a woman always loves to feel beautiful, and the man should always be like, oh honey, you're so beautiful, and you know, I love you, and I wouldn't want to see another woman.
But what if your wife kind of gained weight? Would you still say, oh honey, you're so sexy and yummy?
Guys, do you think that validation keeps around women? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think that's completely inaccurate. This is the kind of crap women say. You know, oh, I need more compliments. I need you to talk. I love talking all the time, and validation and attention. And, you know, the funny thing is, men who actually go out here and they validate women all the time and they give them tons of attention, and they do it, not to say like, if you've got a wife or something, okay, call her beautiful, knock yourself out, right? But like, if your method of keeping around the woman is validation, what the hell is that? You know, and there are so many women these days, guys, like they can't even appreciate validation. They eat it and they'll take it, you know, yum, validation, but they don't actually appreciate it when you validate them. You know, you might have a wife of 20 years who appreciates compliments like that. You know, maybe you've gone to the middle of nowhere and you've got yourself a Filipino woman or whatever. But a lot of modern day women, they don't appreciate validation whatsoever. They take it because they like the attention, but you know, validating a woman and that's your strategy of keeping her around, I don't know about that one.
Absolutely. You gotta, you know, roll with the punches. I mean, the guy's not going to be attractive forever either. So, you know, it's just kind of a give and take with that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
If your husband asks for a divorce, what do you think his reason would be?
I would say not being as considerate as I should be, whether that comes to helping out with finances or around the house, maybe.
Okay, so he wants to divorce you because you're not earning as much as he
No, I would just say maybe not being as, like, I guess, even when it comes to finances, and also, like, helping, like, whether that's, you know, doing the dishes or laundry.
All right. So, in your opinion, why do you think most women divorce their husbands?
I would say for exactly what I just said, actually.
Okay.
They probably don't feel as though men are as helpful as they should be.
Don't you think it's kind of ironic, though? Because if they divorce their husbands, then they're going to be alone taking care of the kids.
Yep.
So what's up with that?
I don't really know. That is kind of ironic now that you say it out loud.
Would you say it's okay to split 50-50 when it comes to house chores, taking care of the kids?
Absolutely.
So would you say that it's okay for the women to protect the household if there are intruders? It's like, husband, sit down. I got this. I'm going to get the bat.
I would say if she has more experience with that wholeheartedly, then yeah, if she knows in her own mind that she's able to protect herself and her family, absolutely. But as a woman,
I'm sorry, guys. Women in general cannot defend a household. Okay, I would take an untrained random dude from high school than a trained woman. Okay, this whole women in self-defense fields is just absolutely ridiculous to me. Second of all, why don't we ask her if it's appropriate that we go 50-50 on the bills? I'd like to see if her attitude is the same. You know, because women will always say, oh yeah, it's totally cool if we go 50-50 on the housework. Why? Because it benefits them, obviously. Okay, but start asking them about whether or not they can go 50-50 on paying for the bills. Now, granted, this woman might accept and have the same mindset, but oftentimes they don't.
woman, of course, if you don't have experience with something like that, of course you're going to want your husband to take care of that.
Do you think women still appreciate masculine men?
Of course, yeah. I think that it's not even about just being masculine anymore. It's more so just this toxic mindset of men just thinking like their only use is being providers for women. But with that, I feel like their mentality has shifted a lot more, where it's not even being a provider, it's more so just somewhat owning other women and what they're doing with their lives.
So what do you think men want from women?
I don't really know. Like, they're
I think that perfectly sums it up, man. You know, you ask women about what they want. Oh, I want this, I want that, I want, right? And then you ask them what the men want, and they have absolutely no idea, by the way. And notice how she's going into, you know, men controlling women. Oh, I don't want men to feel as though they have a degree of control over women. What women mean when they say crap like this, oftentimes, guys, is they want to be able to do whatever it is that they want to do while in a marriage or while in a relationship. So, for example, yes, I want to be a wife and I want to stay at home and I want a man to look after me, but how dare you tell me that I can't, go to the club and wear whatever I want? And the thing is, a lot of men are not going to accept this deal. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.